Okay, well, I've actually lost count as to which video this is, but we'll just go with it. All right, so in number 35, we're asked to, let's see, evaluate it at 2 and then multiply them. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to just plug the 2 into each of these two equations to come out with an outcome. So for this one right here, I'm going to have negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. And then negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. And so now, this is so easy. I'm just going to multiply these two together, and I get a positive 10. All right, number 36. We're going to be dividing g of n by f of n. So let's just start with putting g of n in the upstairs of this fraction and f of n in the downstairs. And we're going to just leave it like that. Couldn't be easier than that. Now, we want to just be careful that we don't overlook GCFs and so forth. I could have simplified the numerator here by factoring out an n squared, which would have left me with n minus 5. If this was a plus, I could have canceled it out with the n plus 5 in the downstairs, but it's not, so I have to leave it like this. So this answer right here is perfectly okay, but you should probably check it to see if you can cancel out anything. All right, number 37, we're doing a composite function because I see this function embedded inside of the g function. So the first thing I'm going to do is just simply make a very easy substitution. I'm going to take out this h of n, and I'm going to have 4n minus 4. Now, this is my new input into the g function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this g function. Wherever I see an n, I'm going to leave a big space. And inside that space, I'm going to fill it up with 4n minus 4. And then simplify it. It's easier said than done because I have to multiply this out. 4n minus 4, 4n minus 4. Due to space, I'm just going to work this out the shortcut way for those of you who know it, and for those of you who don't, you can just FOIL it out and you get the same answer. You can square the first term, multiply these two together, you get 16n, and then double it, which is minus 32n. And then you can square this term, which is plus 16. Let's distribute this negative 5. It is a negative 5, so it's minus 20n. Plus 20. Yes, plus, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Now, let's just gather up like terms. I don't have any other n squares. Negative 32n minus 20n is going to give me a minus 52n. And 16 plus 20 is 36. And let me check to see if that's right. Yep, that's right. All right, moving on. Let's go to the next two questions. We're trying to find the inverse now of these two. And so the first thing I'm going to do is change the f of x to y. And the big word on inverse is switch. And now solve for the new y. So to undo this divide by 3, I'll multiply both sides by 3. That'll strike out this. And I'll get 3x is equal to y, and I prefer to see the y on the left. So I'll just switch sides. And then I'll convert this y to an f inverse notation, because it needs to denote that it is the inverse, and this is the best way to do that. So there's your answer. And then number 39, same thing, a little bit more involved. We're going to, again, start with converting the h of x to a y. And then we'll make the big switch. That'll become a negative y minus 2 divided by 2. And the first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of this radical sign. So again, if you recall back, to undo this, I just raise it to the same power. Golden rule says what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And that's going to give me x to the 5th. What's going to happen is that this cancels with this, so it frees up this whole entire fraction. And now we're going to undo division, so we will multiply both sides by 2. That'll cancel that out. And again, my goal is to isolate the y. So I can add 2 now to both sides. That'll give me 2x to the 5th plus 2 equals a negative y. I don't like that negative y, so I'm just going to just multiply it by a negative. How about we do that? -1. Golden rule says what you do to one side, you have to do the other. So that's going to be a positive y is equal to a negative 2x to the 5th minus 2. And then in my last step, I'm just going to simply denote that this is the inverse. All right, that was fun. Yay. Love math. Okay, I'm going to stop here. This is a shorter video because the next section includes all those radicals that we love so well. See you then.